Oh, how are you all doing? When I look at this Yale today, there's a few different scenarios with this Yale. I'm going to show you. But first we'll pick it first. And we'll go through the actual bitting. As you can see on this one straight away, your first, second and third, there's a slight step. You get on your fourth and you can see how high that one is. It's not enough a zero or point of a lift. And then back onto the fifth, it's quite a high lift. So this is a tricky one. Can catch you out. And that's the sort of bitting that represents that part there, when it's like 9 off a 0 lift. And it's quite a common cut actually, and it can catch you out something terrible. So we'll have a little pick. So we're going for we'll bounce fifth. Fifth wants to stay there. You can see him staying there. He's above the rest of them, so he's staying where he needs to be. Now we know we're lucky that fourth is a nudge and nothing of a nudge. You give it a tiny tap, then we'll leave it. Then we're going to go on to third. Now third's tight. It's not bouncing like fifth was, or third. See how tight it is? It's staying. It's going up gradually. So you have to real ease off your pressure, off your tension, and there it is. And when it's where it's needed to be, it will move, but only fractionally. And then we're going to go on to second. Get to second. Second, see how tight second is? Second's tight as well. And I'll try and slowly, second's where it needs to be. And what happens, and why it does that, is you've got to remember, the only way to pick these sort of locks is to actually put pressure on the top of that bolt. And some of these levers protrude further than others. So that's what we talk about binding order. Some will get bouncy, keep moving, and won't actual bind. So you lift one, which is a little bit further out than the others, and then it'll catch. And you can see that's why it's catching. That's where you get that binding. Now, first is real tight now. And we've got it. So, fourth was a bit of a pig. Let's pick it in another way. So, first, say, look, it won't hold. I put loads of pressure on, it won't hold, because one of those levers is sticking out. And then we'll go for, so it's starting to catch there on number 2. Number 2 is held in that position, because obviously the first one is set further back than number 2 slightly. And we'll go on to the fifth one's a bit tight. He's bouncing, but he's staying where he needs to be. He's not dropping back, but he's still got movement. When that's solid, you know you're in a false notch. Now, we thought that we're lucky we can see, but it's a fraction of a movement on the actual fourth lever. Third's tight. Go on to 1. Now, that one that's slightly, you see right the way down there, that fourth one, that's going to take a slightly tiny, I want to show you, a little nudge. An next to nothing nudge. It's just sitting. Can you see it? Just sitting where it needs to be. And we'll go and nudge up the third, and we're through. So I hope that explains a little bit why these locks bind in different orders. I thought this was a pretty good Yale to demonstrate that. Also, let's take that out. I wanted to show you. You can see where that curtain is worn. It's quite a common problem. So put the key in. What happens is, you got a worn curtain. See it move? That worn curtain. What can happen is, because it's moving about, your lock is not lined up with the bitting because there's movement in that curtain. So sometimes you have to pull or push until you can get the key to open. And it can be, you can be jiggering about for ages and ages and ages if that happens. See, it won't quite line up, but it did when I first used it. So sometimes you get a door, it works fine 1 minute and then it won't work the next, and there you go, it works again. It can be, and I'll try and show you the best I can, a worn curtain, because this one's worn. It's a Yale. This one's slightly newer. There's not so much movement in it, so it works a bit smoother. So that could cause one of the problems. I thought a little tip might be helpful and interesting. So supporters this week, supporters, what have we got for you this week? Well, been extra generous, supporters. This 5-gauge adjustable tension tool is going to be the prize for this week. And hopefully in a few weeks' time, I might put a 7-gauge up. So supporters, thank you very, very much for your support. Remember, guys, without your support, my channel would not exist. I won't be able to get all these different locks to show you, the time to do it, and all the materials I need to be able to make all these beautiful tools. So, guys, thank you very, very much. And I shall see you before the end of the week. Have a safe week. Remember, keep wearing those mucky masks. And thumbs up if you like this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you like to leave a comment below. Any contact information is in the little titles, a little arrow, click it. And if you need to ask me a question, my email and whatnot's in there. Okay, guys, I'll speak to you soon. Ta-da!